Welcome to Market Tea Tuesday,
where the tea is always hot.
Is it hot or is it hot?
Right? I don't know. Is this market hot? I feel like this market is hot. So the tea is hot, the market's hot, all of it's hot.
Yes. Okay, so you say you have a lot to say. I'm so eager to hear what you have to say. So Ashley, take the floor.
Yeah.
I want to know what's your thoughts on everything that's been coming up.
So, rates have come back down a little bit, which is amazing. We've seen that pause, like I know everybody was kind of freaking out, but listen, people have to move and they're going to move no matter what, right?
Right.
And then a lot of things people aren't talking about, and I know it's a little overhead, but FHFA has come out and Trump have come out and said, and people aren't talking about it, that they're going to stop long-term buying. And what does that mean? That means the 10-year note, which means short-term lower rates, but long-term inflation. Okay. Which means guess where rates go when inflation goes up? Up. Okay. But no one's talking about it. And that is a little bit weird because it's kind of a big topic. Like, it will short-term be a great thing, but long-term, to be honest with you, maybe not be. Okay.
Right.
And so that's definitely something to look at. And then
what, if I may pause, what's your projection as far as time-wise? Like, yes, you said it's going to be a short-term fix, but long-term, we're going to see the effects of it. Like, what's your thoughts, or what do you predict for it to be? For when do you think we're going to?
I think a stable market is always better than a volatile market. Like, you don't want to see big pendulum swings. You want to see like that constant ebb and flow, right? And so I think it's important. But again, like, you are in whatever market you decide to be in. Like, if you constantly say everything's garbage every day, then it's going to be garbage. But if you constantly go in and say, you know what, we're going to figure this out, we're going to figure it out for our clients, it can be better. So I think that's important too. But we definitely want to see stability rather than volatility, because volatility only helps people short term, but in the long term, it doesn't, because we're going to swing straight back up, and that is a bigger problem. So I think that's important to look at too. And then the JOLTS reports come out today. What that means is that's job openings, right? That's not jobs filled or anything like that. So there's a ton of jobs, but where are the people? Because they're not hiring them.
Applying. Yeah, they're not hiring.
And so this is why job numbers you can't really trust. So we did see the market shift negatively because of that, because job openings show jobs that shows economic stability, which means that the Fed is probably not going to lower rates in July. They say it's still on the table. It's probably not going to happen.
After this report has come out.
Yep. And Trump and Powell are in, like, to say it the nicest way possible, a pissing match, And so, but it's not just as easy as lowering rates. Like, we have to make sure. Do I think that there are some ways to get rates down? But also, I think we need to evaluate bigger things like stability in prices. Like, again, we've asked for this buyer's market and it's here. So I think that's important.
And going about prices, I saw that 28% of properties sold above list price, which is down from the typical 30%. So that is an indicator, right? And then also because going back to what you said, right, about like, we just have to buy in the market that's right for you. We have to make sure that things make sense for you. And 30% of homeowners are first-time home buyers right now. Yes. So it's a great opportunity for real estate professionals to take that time to find a way to educate your sphere of influence and just put a word out there of like what this market looks like. What are some of the negotiation tactics that you as an agent are using to help these first-time home buyers to really get their foot in the door, and work with loan originators that are willing to take the time to educate, because I think it is so important for new homeowners to understand the difference, with seller credits, how you can benefit from it, escrow, right? Because once they start digging on the internet, we can't help it, right? All we can do is answer their questions. And I know me personally, I always get first-time home buyers thinking that, hey, you know what? I may not want to I don't want to escrow my taxes and insurance. Yes, it's your option, it's your decision. But as a first-time home buyer, I always encourage them to do it so that they can at least get used to, what that payment looks like, and you don't have to worry about it. So just work with people that are willing to educate your client, because not a lot of loaner
and a crazy statistic too is houses over $900,000 were mostly bought in cash. Isn't that crazy?
Yes, because everyone has so much equity right now in their properties, right? So it's easy for them to do that.
And we have seen that the new build stuff is down, like as far as new build purchases, but also let's talk about new build, because I've seen numerous text messages from builders saying the price is $229 with no rate buy down. It's $249, $259 if you want a 4.99. So you're telling me it's $30,000 of equity using their lender, getting their 4.99, using their appraiser. And so what happens if that's not real value? Because let's just be honest, builders aren't held their feet to the fire accountable the way that we are. And so that's steering your client. And so what does it take to get that 4.99 instead of looking at a real buy down? That return on investment is horrible.
Yeah,
for that. So
yeah, and I think something that we as loan originators have to make sure that we provide in part of educating our clients is showing them what that break even point is. If they are saying like, hey, we want to buy our rate down, how much is it going to cost us? It's going to cost you something, but let's see if it makes sense. How long are you trying to stay in this property? Are you going to refinance in the next couple of years? If so, this is money you're not going to get back. There's nothing, there's nothing of value for you. Once you pay that, it's done. It's money spent.
Exactly. It's gone. And the thing is
very important for us to discuss. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that we've stopped hearing about tariffs, the main voice of tariffs, which is huge. So what does that look like for inflation? But I do think that that's what's still making the Fed cautious, even though we're not hearing on it on the mainstream media. But they let us hear what we want to hear anyway. So I think that's important to note as well.
Right. I mean, I think it's, now that summer, we're in the thick of it, right? We're halfway through summer right now. So hopefully we start seeing some shifts. People start coming back into the market and ready to purchase. But do we have a crystal ball and we can say, hey, rates are going to be dropped no, we don't know what's going to happen. Like you just said today, right? Like the JOLTS report coming out is an indicator that, hey, we probably don't see a rate cut. So we'll just have to kind of keep ourselves informed on what's going to happen.
And the thing to note too is like whenever everybody keeps talking about rates coming down, but there are still areas of our country that are highly competitive. Like I've had a client in Chicago, like in the Chicago area. It was so competitive to get a house in suburbs. I have a client right now in Roswell, Georgia area. When I tell you, like, we've got to get an offer in like ASAP, highest and best, like there's pockets of areas that are just absolutely insane. And so I think that that's important to know.
And every market is going to be different, right? Absolutely. Yeah. And it's, again, going back to making sure that you work with people that are going to educate you and that are informed on their market. Ask the questions. There's so many reports, so many resources that we as professionals have that we can help answer some of those questions for our clients.
Yeah.
So,
and I think that even, the summer is a great time. And also, I know everybody's still highly anticipating Hometown Heroes and what that looks like and if it's coming out, but we have other programs like Florida Bond that we've talked about before, but also we have 1% down. So that's up to $7,000. It's a 2% grant. So free money. I'm always the one saying nothing in life is free. And guess what? This is free. And the rate's not bad either. It's actually great. So it's free money, and so that's super important.
And that's the thing, right? A lot of times these programs are out there, but there's a lot of requirements with those programs, and we just have to make sure that you meet those requirements. One of them being income limits, right? So just because you think that you're going to be able to get this, we want to make sure that you meet those income limit requirements. And Florida Hometown Heroes does have higher income limits, so that is a very great program. But like you said, we have other programs that you may qualify for. So just ask your questions, and we'll be more than happy to walk you through what those scenarios look like for you.
Yeah, and let's see if it's feasible for your clients. The market's ever going to shift, but don't miss the opportunity, because I think there's that. I saw a meme the other day that said the people in 2025 wish they would have bought a house in 2020. In 2030, they wish they would have bought a house in 2025. So you're always going to regret, like, it's that whole hindsight is 2020. Buy the house. Buy the house.
Yes, let's get you in and get you taken care of.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I thank you for tuning in. If you guys have any questions, please reach out to us. We're happy to answer. We're happy to schedule some open houses. We can make some material for you guys. If you need any flyers made, we would love to help you attract your buyers.
Yes, definitely. I mean, like, anything you guys need. I know right now, Ashley and I are getting ready to start putting together the 1% flyer. Just simple steps for first-time home buyers that, just kind of breaks it down and makes it simple for everyone to understand. So let us know. We'll be more than happy to send those over to you.
Thank you. Have a great week.
Bye, you too.
Bye.